Hello, I'm Don Hammock, Sports Information Director at Mississippi Gulf Coast Community College. Thank you for joining us for another exciting episode of Bulldog Blitz, coming to you from Scuba, where number 10 Gulf Coast defeated number 2 East Mississippi in the MACCC opener for both teams. Gulf Coast won 34-28, scoring a couple touchdowns late to beat the Lions on their home field. We'll talk with Coach Jack Wright, offensive lineman Ryan Pascal, and defensive back Marcus Washington about the game while we take a look at some highlights. Then we'll introduce you to Javen Gibson, the defensive end from Church Point, Louisiana, in a segment we call 10 Questions. Our third segment has men's soccer coach Chris Handy telling us about his 11th ranked Bulldogs off to a 2-0-1 start against 3 top 15 ranked teams. Stick around. Here on the sideline after a big win at Scuba, big comeback win in the fourth quarter here with head coach Jack Wright. Jack, that was total team effort, great resilience. There's a word that Marcus Washington's going to use later in the show. What'd you see today?
Just that. I mean, just hard to describe, the effort and the energy that it took all the way throughout the fourth quarter to play. I just remember Coach Smith, Coach Shue, Coach Clarence on defense just rolling guys in and out. It just took everybody. It took the whole team, Our backup quarterback was at holder. He made a play. Our kicker was great. Our deep snapper, in some tight moments. Our O-line, enough can't be said about that group, but just everybody. I mean, every receiver made play at some point. So it just took the whole group.
4 different receivers caught touchdown passes. The stats are all spread out all over the place. You had some explosive plays. I thought you ran the ball better in the second half than you did the first half. What did y'all do different?
You got to give them credit. Their defensive front's extremely talented. We figured that out early in the game. It was just tough to run the football. We wanted to run the ball more. We wanted to be a little more efficient running the football, but we had to wear them down. They're talented. It's a hot night. Our defense kind of wore down, and we could kind of feel their defense wearing down a little bit. It was just one of those nights. It took a while before the running game was going to start rolling a little bit.
You told me last week you thought this was going to be a good offense by the end of the year. You didn't know what you're going to get. A lot of freshmen around, freshman quarterback.
Yep.
How did you see them perform in this
I couldn't be more pleased. I've been coaching junior college for a long time, and one of the toughest things is getting freshmen, high school kids that played high school last year, not transfers, not guys that redshirted, but getting freshmen to play their first year. We had some guys on offense that did that. Some guys on defense did it, in fairness, but the guy that stands out is Landon. Was a high school football player last year, thrown in this environment week 1. Really not fair for this to be his first game as a quarterback. But, he did incredibly well, considering everything.
Defensively, they gave up some yards, but East had a lot of empty trips in the red zone, either with with getting stopped on 4th down, a bunch of turnovers. The regulators just, kind of impose their will when they needed to.
The challenge for Coach Shufelt was not really knowing who their playmakers are because of, the lack of scouting and film. So I think his philosophy tonight was just don't give up a ton of big plays. Play a little soft, to be honest with you, and, give some run room in the inside because we weren't sure who their go-to people were going to be. If we lock up man or pressure, what are they going to do? We didn't know. And so that takes a lot of discipline to be patient in that situation, and Brett was tonight. Our defense they hung in there tough. Like you said, they moved the field on us pretty good. They got a lot of talent, but we hung tough in the red zone.
And they do a lot of different things, and they do it fast, and that didn't seem to cause y'all any problem tonight, the pace of their offense.
College football, you got to play fast on both sides. All the offenses now are no huddle and trying to snap the ball quick, and so that really kind of changes how you coach defense. You kind of start that on day one. You get used to that, just from alignment, and this is what you got to do. Things are not going to come easy. The offense is not going to wait on you to line up, so that we're kind of used to it. That's how we practice. So I think that paid off.
You're down by a touchdown in the fourth quarter, about midway through the fourth quarter, and your defense has got to come through for you, and they did it twice. That's correct. When the chips are down.
When the chips were down, they did it twice, and they gave up some yards. We're playing without 2 or 3 of our best players tonight. We had some key injuries, and we had, some guys that stayed home. But the guys that were out there just played their hearts out versus a really, really good team.
Well, we need to mention special teams too, because it might not have always been pretty, but a huge play was that 4th down conversion with a little bobbled snap that your backup quarterback manages to run for a 1st down.
Peyton can really run. He's a great athlete. We see it every day in practice. And he's a very capable quarterback. He's going to have his opportunity this year at some point to show everybody what he can do. But he did. He made a play. The pressure on the punt. I'm not sure. If it was, I kind of lost track of how it was blocked or whatever, but I know the pressure affected the kick. And so that was big to get that recovery. And then, we punched it in there to go ahead, and that was the end of it.
What does it mean to beat, East Mississippi? They're always kind of a lot of times they're kind of the standard in this league, and you came up here and beat them on their home field.
There's a few teams that are always really good. East is obviously the headliner. It's an important win. It's a big win. It gives our kids confidence, but Don, it's one win. We have a long season, and these kids can't now have a letdown and think that we've made it or we can't continue to improve. And so that's the challenge for them and for us as coaches, is to continue to push and get better, because there's going to be, when we watch film tomorrow, there's going to be plenty of things that we wish we had done different. And we've got to come in and fix those, because our schedule is going to be tough.
And last year, y'all beat them up here week 4, and then they got you in the playoffs. So this isn't, over by any means.
That's right. That's right. It's not over. Not over.
Well, congratulations. It doesn't get any better than, even with a later start than normal, that ride back.
I didn't even think about
good.
it after kickoff. You're
right.
just trying to win the game. So, yep.
Congratulations, Jack.
Thank you.
Here on the sideline with Picayune's Ryan Pascal after a huge win up here at Scuba. Ryan, how does it feel to walk out of here with a dub?
Man, it's awesome. We come in here, everything against us. They're number 2 team in the nation. We come in and be able to run the ball like we wanted to, run it right down their throats, especially at the end of the game, and be able to put it in for the game-winning drive.
You're down by a touchdown late, and this was a total team effort. Defense got you the ball back, and special teams got you the ball back. What were y'all trying to do on those last couple scoring drives?
Oh man, we were really shooting ourselves in the foot at the beginning. I mean, penalty after penalty. We fumbled with 3 and outs. We had a couple bad drives. Defense kept us in there, like you said, and we were able to get down there and got that big punt block right there, put us right there in position. We put it in and able to run the clock out.
I don't know that y'all ran the ball as well as you wanted to in the first half. What changed in the second half?
Oh man, we really just had to lock in and get down to what we needed to do. Especially with the penalties, we cut down on the false starts and everything. We have 2 freshman guys on the left side, and they're trying to get those jitters out. And once we got that cut out, we were easy to get the ball right down the middle.
You guys stand on the sideline and watch the regulators. East had some empty trips in the red zone. They had a bunch of turnovers. What did you see out of your guys in the D?
Defense, I mean, they played their butts off. I mean, we go against them every day in practice. We know what it's like. We hit them all day. I mean, it's got a guy down like Al on the defensive line, and then Keyshawn Thomas, he's down too. So, I mean, big guys that we need to get back in there, but to come out of here with a win, it's awesome.
Offensive line, how did y'all kind of gel as the night went on?
Man, kind of just talked to each other, kept our heads in it. I mean, we really couldn't just get down on ourselves. We started to lose the momentum. We found it, got back early in the game.
And you had to show some depth too
yes,
when Trotter went out.
Trotter went down, and we had to get our other guy from Laurel come in there. I mean, he played his butt off tonight. He did a great job.
Leaving Scuba with a W, it always feels good.
Nothing better than that, right?
Congratulations, Ryan.
Thank you, sir.
Here on the sideline with D'Iberville's Marcus Washington, double-digit tackle day for Marcus. You come up to Scuba and beat the number 2 team in the country. What does that feel like?
It's a great accomplishment, especially since they beat us last year. The main key was to just play our role and trust the offense.
Y'all, they were able to move the ball some, but they came up empty several times in the red zone. How did y'all kind of get clamped down in that end?
It's really about making them tired, make them earn their touchdowns, long drives, and really just bowing up in the red zone.
They throw a lot of stuff at you. You haven't seen any film of this year's team. How did y'all get ready to face that and fight tonight?
We really just watched film on last year, really based that they would run the same stuff or similar stuff, and just played and just read the quarterback, see where he would want to throw the ball, make him look a different direction, and tuck and run.
You guys go down by a touchdown in the fourth quarter, and you guys have to make some stops. Offense has to put points on the board. This was a total team effort, wasn't it, tonight?
Yes, sir, it was.
What'd you see from the offense?
Resilience. They fought the whole time. We had a lot of cramping going on, but we fought through and got the win.
I think y'all showed your depth tonight. A lot of guys had to step up and play, and y'all were able to rotate guys in and out.
Yes, sir.
All right, well, congratulations, Marcus. Great job.
Thank you.
Let's meet Javen Gibson while we play 10 questions.
Louisiana. My name is Javen Gibson, and I'm from Church Point, Louisiana. It's a small little town for real. They got some good food over there, some good athletes, some good sports teams and things of that nature. I started playing football in like 6th grade. That was my first time ever trying that, and I wasn't good. I stuck to the playing. My brothers was around me too. I wanted to be, you feel me? I wanted to be better than them or whatever. So, you know, I stuck to the plan, stuck it out, and got better. I love playing football because of the rush that it gives you, the grind, leading up to game days, big moments, making big plays. You feel me? Coach Smith, oh man, a good coach, you feel me? He gave me opportunity to, you know, to shine, taught me a lot of things, a lot of life lessons on and off the field, you feel me? Good coach. He make me a better player by keeping me on my toes, telling me to do the little things right, and don't forget, you know, stay consistent, don't never let up. My favorite instructor was Miss Dana Sharp, and she taught Intro to Athletic Trainer. And the reason I liked her course is because she taught me a lot, and she one of my favorite trainers outside. And you feel me? It was just a cool class.
What kind of student was he?
My favorite. He's also my favorite defensive lineman.
My favorite athlete all time gotta be it's Lawrence Taylor. I watched a lot of his tape, his film, and the way that he approached the game. I like how aggressive he was and how he stayed on it 24/7. It would be tenders from Sutter's Fried Chicken in Church Point, Louisiana. I feel like they're the best in the world. You feel me? I eat over there every time I go home too, so yeah. My favorite superhero would have to be Batman, because who don't like Batman? Who don't like Batman? He really the coolest one out of them all. I would thank my grandmother, my mama, and a few other family members that's really behind the scenes, because they really did a lot for me, you know what I'm saying? Throughout my football career, like telling me keep my head up, you know, play through, whatever. Like, you're gonna be the best version of yourself each and every day. And with them, they made that possible for me to think like that. My former teammate, Kazarius Bull, will be my first guest for sure. We got a lot to cover, and he one of the funniest people I've ever met from Mississippi.
Men's soccer coach Chris Handy has his team 2-0-1 after a grueling start to the season, featuring 3 games against top 20 teams in the country. The Bulldogs are 2-0-1. Let's talk with Coach Handy about his team and take a look at the players.
I think it's a deep team from top to bottom. You know, I'd argue it's our most talented team that we've had so far. We really like, you know, every person that's on the roster can contribute in some type of way. And for us as coaches, that's really all you can ask for, is to have the weapons you need to win games at a consistent rate. David is everything, right? He's our leader. He's our captain back there. He gives us confidence to go forward. You know, we at times can expose ourselves a little bit more in the back, knowing that he's back there. It's kind of a security blanket. He's been outstanding so far in the early season. You know, has kind of pulled us out of the fire a few times, and he'll continue to be that. We think he's the best keeper in the league, and you know, he loves it. You know, he has passion for it. And we appreciate him a bunch. I think right now it's a little bit by committee, but I think the main 2 right now are the freshmen, you know, Alexander Mink and Dorian Robinson. They've been really good throughout the preseason. You know, they still have room for improvement in some areas, but for the most part, they've been outstanding. Both of them super athletics. Both of them are eager to get the job done, and I've been really impressed with what they've done so far. You know, Mark's season has started slow just because of injuries and whatnot, but he started for us, you know, a year ago, and we trust him completely. So we're definitely looking forward to getting him back up to speed as well. You know, Nigel's a really talented player who can play all over the field, and he spent some time back there and gives us some consistency as well. You know, young outside backs in Tobias Butch and Nico Worthy, you know, both those guys are outstanding. You know, we are really blessed to have them both, 2 left-footed players that can play on either side. A little bit different styles, and Nico being the pacey, athletic, you know, defender that can get forward, and Tobias with such leadership and passion, energy, and technique and experience. So we're really blessed back there, and they make sure that we stay in every single game we play. Midfield is dynamic, you know, very different looks depending on who's in there. You know, Ibra right now is, you know, being dynamic. We're trying to find the best way to use him. He's moved around from attacking mid to center mid to even outside mid at times. You know, in the most recent game we played, he kind of stepped in at holding mid for us and kind of filled a void and kind of changed the game a little bit. We're still trying to figure out the best way to use him since he's so talented, but you know, we're really excited about what he's going to give at season's end as he continues to grow. Jacinto is, you know, tall, athletic players who can run at players and dynamic. Scored a great goal against Pearl River the other night. You know, I think his size and his athleticism and his passion for the game are really, you know, giving us a leg up on our competition. Victor kind of splits roles. You know, when he's in the midfield, he gives us a hard-nosed player who's going to do the right thing, pick up defensively, make right runs into the box, make tackles, and give us some leadership. And obviously, he's our leading goal scorer as well. So just having him be able to bounce between roles really gives us, you know, some options as coaches. Our forwards right now, you know, obviously, you know, we are really excited about what we have coming back, you know, as far as in front of goal. You know, Cade, you know, he's so dangerous with the athleticism and his speed and his size, his ability to take the top off of defense and really run in behind. You know, so having him return gives us a real threat to play different styles of play. Victor, who I know we've already mentioned, is you know, is a finisher, right? He gets himself inside the 6 and finishes all the time, just with his work rate and his knowledge of the game, his ability in the air. He's really dangerous in front of goal. You know, Mills is super dynamic as a player. He can really run at guys, good with the ball at his feet. You know, and he gives defenses lots and lots of problems. So we're excited to watch him as the season continues. Vincenzo right now, as an incoming freshman, has probably been one of the most dangerous freshmen out there. He scored a couple goals for us this year already, in preseason and in the Pearl River game. His ability and craftiness in front of goal and his fearlessness that he plays with is really giving us, a lot of energy in the front line, and is really helping the other players excel as well because he's very unselfish in his play. Luke, being a transfer player, is really experienced. He's kind of been around this league, he's kind of been outside of the state. I've really appreciated, his level-headedness and his approach to the game. He stepped in and filled every single role that we've asked of him, whether that be on the front line, that's even in the midfield as well. He gives us some stability. We know if there's an issue, he's a good chance that he can fix it. So we really appreciate his approach so far in the early season. Wyndham to me is the best assistant in the league. I think he does a great job in every aspect. He's really good on the field. He's really good in the office. The fact that we've been together for so long at this point, even if you go back to just his playing days as a captain, I feel like we've been working together for 8-9 years, somewhat like that. So the fact that we are so kind of cohesive and really on the same page, it makes us really efficient in the office and on the field. Have a lot of the same ideas. We communicate really well with each other and with the team, and so he's a savior for us. He's doing a great job, and he gives us a leg up. When he's involved for sure. Getting Zach back on board, someone who helped us, win conference in the past, someone who's passionate about goalkeeping, it's been super important. It allows me and Wyndham to focus a little bit more on the rest of the team, as well as we have, outstanding goalkeeper who needs consistent work. So the fact that he's in and eager has been, great for us, and we really appreciate him. It's a tough conference again this year. It's really, really fun now that we're just doing the one conference. Every single game is important for not just conference play, but just nationally. The coaches are doing a great job from what I've seen so far. They're recruiting better, their out-of-state players are better, and so from top to bottom, it's definitely going to be a challenge that we're looking forward to. That's one of the reasons why we're excited to have so much depth this year, because we're going to need it. I think last year we kind of faltered at the end, and I think with the numbers that we have this year, we can try to be a little bit more consistent. So, I think Pearl will obviously be there in the end. Jones has shown us really, really early that they can play. Again, we think Hines will be better as well. E01 always poses a challenge up north. So I think you can go across the board. You can make arguments for East Central being better. You can make arguments for Meridian being better. It's going to be a tough season. And, part of the reason we scheduled the way we did early is to make sure we're prepared, when the conference season gets here. We want to qualify for nationals, right? I think that's the main goal, and we're several different routes we can get there. Obviously, we can win conference, win regionals, and that we automatically qualify. But we also want our name in the hat, just in case something goes wrong with the 4 at-large bids. And so that puts a lot of pressure on not just the coaching staff, but the players to be excellent out of the gate. But we're up for it. That's why you come to Gulf Coast. That's why you attend. You come for the big games. You come for the challenges. I think so far this season we have met expectations, maybe not exceeded expectations. But for us, knowing the talent that we have and the ability that we have, we feel like we have a couple more steps that we can take. And so we're excited about that. But again, definitely, we want to qualify for nationals. We want to take the steps that it takes to get there. That means a good pre-conference record, as well as obviously we want to win the MAC as usual. We'd like to win regionals this year as well, and then get ourselves in hopefully the top 8 to top 4 of the rankings when they come out at the end.
Thank you for joining us for another episode of Bulldog Blitz. We'll see you next week. We'll be coming to you from Coahoma after a long road trip. Hopefully we'll come back with another W. Thank you for joining us. We'll see you next week.